Jake Morrison wiped the sweat from his face as he checked the readings on his screen. Something was wrong with the power systems in Sector 7. The numbers kept changing in ways that made no sense. He had been working in the deep cities for 3 years now, but he had never seen anything like this. The tunnels around him stretched for miles in every direction. Most people who lived here had never seen the surface. Jake had been up there once during his training. The world above was beautiful, but empty. No cities, no people, just endless forests and clean rivers. It was hard to believe that humans had once lived up there. Jake walked down the metal hallway, his boots making soft sounds on the floor. The lights along the walls were brighter than usual. That was another strange thing he had noticed over the past few days. Everything seemed to be waking up. He stopped at a large door marked with yellow warning signs. Behind this door was the main control room for the life support systems. Jake had only been inside twice before, both times with his supervisor. Today he was alone. The readings on his portable scanner showed that the problem was definitely coming from inside, at the door, open with a soft hiss. Inside, the room was filled with screens and blinking lights. Most of the equipment was so old that Jake could barely understand how it worked. The machines had been running by themselves for hundreds of thousands of years. They were built to last, but even the best. Machines needed care. Sometimes Jake found the source of the problem quickly. One of the main computers was running a program he had never seen before. The screen showed a countdown timer. It said 72 hours and 14 minutes. Below that were words that made Jake's blood run cold. Final phase activation. He tried to stop the program, but it would not respond to his commands. Every button he pressed, every code he entered, nothing worked. The computer seemed to be following orders that came from somewhere else. Somewhere deeper in the system, Jake grabbed his radio and called his supervisor. "Hey, Mike, I need you to come to Control Room 7 right away. We have a big problem." "What kind of problem?" Mike's voice crackled through the speaker. "A kind that might wake everyone up." 20 minutes later, Mike arrived with Dr. Lisa Parker. She was one of the few people in the deep cities who studied the old records. If anyone could understand what was happening, it would be her. Lisa looked at the screen for a long time without saying anything. Her face grew pale as she read the information. Finally, she turned to Jake and Mike. "This is not a malfunction," she said quietly. "This is supposed to happen. The Great Sleep is ending." "What do you mean?" Jake asked. Lisa sat down at one of the computers and began typing. Files appeared on the screen, documents that were older than anyone alive. "Before we went underground, our leaders knew this day would come. They built a timer into all the systems. When enough time had passed, when we had changed enough, the cities would begin the awakening process." "Changed enough?" Mike looked confused. "What are you talking about?" Lisa pulled up more files. Images of humans from the past appeared on the screen. They looked different from the people Jake knew. Smaller, weaker, with shorter lifespans. "We did not just go underground to wait. We went underground to evolve. Look at yourself, Jake. Really look." Jake held up his hand and stared at it. His fingers were longer than they should be, more flexible. His reflexes were faster than any human from the old records. His mind could process information at speeds that the ancient humans could never match. He had always thought this was normal. "The machines have been changing us slowly," Lisa continued, "generation by generation, making us stronger, smarter, better able to survive. The countdown means we are ready for what comes next." Before anyone could ask what she meant, alarms began ringing throughout the complex. Red lights flashed on every wall. A voice came over the speakers, speaking in the old language that few people remembered. "Attention all citizens. Surface protocols are now active. Prepare for atmospheric testing. All department heads report to Central Command immediately. Lisa stood up quickly. We need to get to Central Command now. If I am right, we are about to discover that we are not alone in the galaxy anymore. The three of them ran through the tunnels toward the center of the city. Other people were coming out of their homes and workplaces, all looking confused and worried. Many of them were asking the same questions. What was happening? Why were the old systems turning on? Central Command was a massive room filled with screens and control panels. Most of the equipment had been silent for centuries. Now everything was humming with power. Dozens of people were already there, including Commander Alex Stone, the military leader of their sector. Commander Stone was standing in front of the largest screen Jake had ever seen. It showed the surface of the Earth from high above. But there was something else in the image, something that did not belong. Is that a spaceship? Jake asked. Commander Stone nodded grimly. Not one of ours. The automatic systems detected it 3 hours ago. It has been scanning our planet ever since. Who could it be? Lisa wondered aloud. I do not know, the commander replied. But they are about to find out that Earth is not as empty as they think. On the screen, the alien ship moved closer to the surface. Its hull was dark and covered with strange markings. Weapons could be seen along its sides. This was not a peaceful exploration vessel. Captain Ryan Mell, who worked with the communication systems, looked up from his console. Commander, I am picking up radio signals from the ship. They are not trying to contact us. They are reporting back to someone else. What are they saying? They think the planet is dead. They are talking about mining operations. They want to strip our world for resources. Commander Stone's face hardened. Not if we have anything to say about it. Lisa watched the alien ship on the screen and thought about everything they had learned. Humanity had slept for 750,000 years, evolving and changing in their underground cities. They had become something new, something powerful. The rest of the galaxy had no idea what was coming. Jake looked around the room at all the people working at their stations. Each of them was faster, stronger, and smarter than any human who had ever lived on the surface. They had abilities that would seem impossible to the aliens watching from space. That the Great Sleep was ending. Humanity was about to wake up, and the galaxy would never be the same. The alien ship hung in space like a giant metal beast. Inside its dark hull, Captain Vex Thara studied the readings from his scanning equipment. His reptilian eyes moved across the screens with growing confusion. The planet below should be dead, but something was wrong with the data. Report, Vex Thara hissed to his crew. His voice echoed through the bridge of the ship, called Cosmic Render. Sir, the surface shows signs of life, replied his science officer, but our records say this world died long ago. The creatures called humans destroyed themselves in wars. Vex Thara had served the Galactic Council for 300 years. He had visited thousands of dead worlds. They all looked the same. Empty cities, poisoned air, silence. But this planet was different. The air was clean, the forests were thick, and something was moving in orbit around the world. What is that object near the planet? He demanded. Unknown, sir. It appears to be some kind of station. The design does not match any known species. Far below, in the deep cities of Earth, Commander Alex Stone made the most important decision in human history. He stood in Central Command, surrounded by screens showing the alien ship. His enhanced mind processed thousands of possibilities in seconds. We reveal ourselves, he said simply. The room fell silent. Everyone stared at him. This was the moment they had prepared for during the Great Sleep, but now that it was here, it felt impossible. Dr. Lisa Parker stepped forward. Are you sure? Once we show them we exist, there is no going back. They already think they can take Our world, Stone replied. It is better to face them as equals than to hide like prey. Jake Morrison was already working at the communication station. His fingers moved across the controls, faster than any normal human could manage. The machines responded to his touch as if they were part of his own body. Within minutes, he had found the alien ship's communication frequency. I have their signal, Jake announced. But their language is completely different from ours. Captain Ryan Bell joined Jake at the controls. His enhanced brain began analyzing the alien speech patterns. What should have taken months of study took him only minutes. The mathematical structure of their language became clear to him like reading a simple book. I can understand them, Ryan said with amazement. Their language follows basic patterns. Give me a few more minutes and I can speak with them. On the alien ship, Vexthara was growing more nervous. His sensors had detected energy readings from the planet that made no sense. The dead world was somehow producing power levels that exceeded his own ship's capabilities. Sir, his communications officer called out. We are receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. Impossible. This world is dead. Sir, someone is speaking to us in our own language. Vexthara moved to the communication station. A voice came through the speakers, speaking perfect Galactic standard. The words were clear and calm, but they sent chills through the alien captain's spine. Greetings, visitors. This is Commander Alex Stone of Earth. We welcome you to our solar system. The bridge of the cosmic render erupted in confusion. Crew members hissed and clicked in their native tongues. Vexthara demanded silence with a sharp gesture. This is Captain Vexthara of the Galactic Council survey vessel Cosmic Render. Identify yourself. Our records show this world has no intelligent life. Your records are outdated by several 100,000 years, came the reply. We have been waiting for visitors like you. Perhaps it is time we met face to face. In Central Command, Lisa Parker worked frantically to analyze the alien ship. Her enhanced vision could see details in the scanner images that would be invisible to ancient humans. The ship's design told her everything she needed to know about these visitors. They are not explorers, she reported to Commander Stone. Look at their weapons. This is a mining ship designed to strip planets bare. They came here to take everything. That changes things, Stone replied grimly. On his ship, Vexthara was trying to understand what he was facing. The humans in his records were primitive creatures who barely knew how to build simple machines. Yet the voice speaking to him showed knowledge of galactic languages and customs that should be impossible. Prove you are human, Vexthara demanded. Send us your genetic data for verification. The response came back immediately. We will do. Better than that. We will show you. Suddenly, every screen on the alien ship lit up with images from Earth's surface. The aliens saw vast cities built into mountainsides, forests filled with clean rivers, and skies so blue they seemed unreal. But more shocking were the humans themselves. The creatures in the images moved with impossible grace and speed. They operated complex machinery with casual ease. Their eyes held intelligence that seemed to pierce through the screens directly. At the watching aliens, impossible, whispered Vexthara. These were not the weak, short-lived humans from the records. These were something else entirely. Jake Morrison's voice came through the communicator again. We understand you came here to mine our world. We cannot allow that. However, we are willing to discuss peaceful alternatives. You cannot stop a Galactic Council operation, Vexthara responded, trying to sound confident. We have legal authority to claim this dead world. The world is not dead, Ryan Bell replied smoothly. And we are no longer the species you remember. Perhaps it is time the Galactic Council updated their records. To prove his point, Ryan activated Genesis Prime, the space station orbiting Earth. The structure unfolded like a metal flower, revealing technology that made the alien ship look primitive by comparison. Energy fields shimmered around its hull, and weapon systems emerged that could destroy entire fleets. Vexthara stared at the station in horror. His ship's weapons were designed to handle pirates and rebels, not this level of technology. "What are you?" he whispered. "We are what humanity became," Commander Stone answered. "We slept for 750,000 years while we evolved. We are no longer the weak creatures in your files. We are something new." Lisa Parker stepped up to the communicator. "Captain Vexthara, we propose a meeting. You can report to your Galactic Council that Earth is inhabited by an advanced species. We are willing to discuss our place in galactic society, but only as equals." The alien captain felt his world shifting beneath him. Everything he thought he knew about the galaxy was wrong. These humans had technology that exceeded anything the Council possessed. They spoke with confidence that came from real power, not bluffing. "I must contact the Council," Vexthara said finally. "Of course," Stone replied. "But Captain, remember this. We have been patient for 750,000 years. We can afford to wait a little longer for your answer, but we will not wait forever." The communication ended, leaving the alien ship in shocked silence. Vexthara looked around at his crew, seeing his own fear reflected in their faces. They had come to strip a dead world and found something that could destroy them all. On Earth, the humans prepared for what would come next. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity was back, and they were no longer the species that could be ignored or pushed around. The real test was just beginning. The Galactic Council station, called Harmony Prime, was the largest structure ever built in space. It held representatives from 47 different species, each with their own section designed for their specific needs. Today, the Great Assembly Hall buzzed with nervous energy as beings from across the galaxy gathered for an emergency session. Captain Vexthara stood before the massive circular chamber, his reptilian hands shaking as he delivered his report. Around him, creatures of every shape and size listened with growing alarm. There were the tall, blue-skinned Etherians with their gentle faces. The insect-like Zephyrians clicked their mandibles in agitation. Ancient energy beings floated in special containment fields, their forms shifting like colored smoke. "The humans are not extinct," Vexthara repeated for the third time. "They have evolved beyond our understanding. Their technology exceeds our own by centuries, perhaps millennia." General Krexner of the Zephyrian Empire rose from his seat. His armor-plated body gleamed under the chamber lights. "Impossible. Our records clearly show the humans destroyed themselves 700,000 years ago. They were primitive, warlike creatures who barely lasted a few thousand years. I saw their space station myself," Vexthara insisted. "It unfolded like a living thing. Their weapons could destroy our entire fleet without effort." Chairman Vex Morin floated at the center of the chamber. He was so old that his species had evolved beyond physical form, existing as pure energy contained within a crystal shell. His voice filled the minds of everyone present without using sound. "Show us the recordings." Vex Morin commanded. Images from Vexthara's ship appeared on screens throughout the chamber. The assembled delegates watched in silence as Genesis Prime revealed itself, its alien technology gleaming in the light of Earth's sun. They saw the green world below, alive and thriving, where their records said only death should exist. Counselor Ythara of the Etherian Collective spoke in her musical voice. "These humans, did they threaten you?" "No," Vexthara admitted. "They were polite. They offered to meet with us as equals. But their power was clear. They could have destroyed my ship with ease. Equals?" General Krexner's voice dripped with scorn. "No species achieves that level of technology in isolation. They must have stolen it or been given it by someone else. At that moment, alarms began ringing throughout Harmony Prime. Security officers rushed to their stations as sensors detected an approaching ship. But this was no ordinary vessel. The newcomer moved through space without any visible propulsion system, its hull seeming to bend light around itself. "Incoming vessel," announced the station's AI. "Design unknown. No match in any database." On the observation deck, delegates pressed against the windows to get a look at the mysterious ship. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. The hull seemed to be made from a single piece of crystal that shifted colors like an oil slick. No engines were visible, yet it moved with perfect grace through the debris field around the station. "They came," whispered Vexthara. "The humans have come." Inside the crystalline ship Earth's Dawn, Commander Alex Stone stood on the bridge with his team. The vessel responded to his thoughts as much as his voice commands. Dr. Lisa Parker studied readings from the Council Station, while Jake Morrison monitored their ship's systems. Captain Ryan Bell piloted the craft with movements so smooth they seemed like dance. "Impressive station," Lisa observed. "But their technology is at least 50,000 years behind ours." "Remember why we are here," Stone reminded them. "We want peace, but we will not be treated as inferiors." Ryan guided their ship into the docking bay that the Council had hastily cleared for them. As Earth's Dawn settled onto the landing platform, Council security forces surrounded it with weapons drawn. The humans could see them through their ship's sensors. "They are afraid," Jake noted. "Look how they hold their weapons." "They have never seen anything like our ship." "Good," Stone replied. "Fear will make them listen." The airlock opened, and the human delegation stepped out onto the station. The security forces had expected to see the primitive humans from their historical records. Instead, they faced beings who moved with fluid grace, their enhanced physiology obvious even through their simple clothing. Commander Stone was tall and lean, his movements economical and precise. Dr. Parker's eyes held intelligence that seemed to pierce through whatever she looked at. Jake Morrison's hands never stopped moving slightly, as if he were always adjusting invisible controls. Captain Bell stood with perfect balance, ready to react to any threat in microseconds. The security chief, a large bear-like creature called Commander Fox, approached nervously. "Welcome to Harmony Prime. The Council is waiting for you." "Thank you," Stone replied in perfect galactic standard. "We appreciate the invitation." As they walked through the station's corridors, other species stopped to stare. Word had spread quickly about the returning humans. Some watched with curiosity, others with fear. The humans ignored the attention, moving with confidence toward the assembly chamber inside the Great Hall. The delegates fell silent as the human delegation entered. Chairman Dexmoran's crystal form pulsed with light as he studied the newcomers with senses beyond normal perception. "You claim to be human," the ancient being projected into their minds. "But you are not the species we remember. What are you?" Commander Stone stepped forward. "We are what humanity became when we chose evolution over extinction. We slept for 750,000 years, while our bodies and minds were enhanced. We are still human, but we are also something more." "Prove it," demanded General Krexener. "Any species could claim to be the lost humans." Stone smiled. "Very well." He placed his hand on a data terminal near the speaker's platform. Instantly, the terminal came alive with information. Not just text and images, but pure knowledge flowing directly from Stone's enhanced mind into the station's computers. The human's entire history appeared on screens throughout the chamber. The delegates saw the ancient wars that drove humanity underground. They witnessed the construction of the deep cities and the beginning of the Great Sleep. They watched as generation after generation of humans were slowly modified and enhanced, preparing for the day when they would return to the stars. But more than just history flowed through the connection. Stone shared his consciousness directly with the Council's computers, allowing them to experience human thoughts and emotions firsthand. For a brief moment, every delegate in the chamber felt what it was like to be human. The effect was overwhelming. Some species had never encountered such direct mental contact. The Etherians wept with joy at the beauty of human dreams. The mechanical nexus units sparked with overloaded circuits as they tried to process emotions they had never been designed to understand. General Krexnor staggered backward, his armor systems failing as human memories flooded his mind. Impossible, he gasped. No species should have such mental abilities. Chairman Vexmoran's crystal form blazed with light. Remarkable. In all my eons of existence, I have never encountered a species that evolved so deliberately, so completely. Stone removed his hand from the terminal, and the mental connection ended. The chamber buzzed with confused voices as delegates tried to process what they had experienced. "We offer our friendship to all species," Stone announced. "But we will not be catalogued, controlled, or contained. We return to the galaxy as equals, nothing less." The chamber erupted into chaos. Some delegates cheered, welcoming humanity back to the galactic community. Others, led by General Krexner, shouted demands for immediate military action. The peaceful Etherians called for celebration, while the militant Zephyrians prepared for war. As the arguments raged around them, the human delegation stood calmly in the center of the storm they had created. The galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had returned, and they had returned as something the universe had never seen before. The age of human dominance was about to begin. The first shot of the awakening war came without warning. Admiral Vexthara, now promoted after his encounter with the humans, led a massive Zephyrian fleet toward the outer edge of Earth's solar system. Behind him followed 300 ships carrying the largest military force the galaxy had seen in 400,000 years. "Begin the attack," Vexthara ordered from the bridge of his flagship. "Target their mining stations first. Show them we mean business." The Zephyrian ships opened fire on what appeared to be simple asteroid mining platforms scattered throughout the outer solar system. The aliens expected easy targets. Instead, the asteroids began to move. Captain Ryan Bell watched the approaching fleet from his position aboard the defense station, hidden inside what the aliens thought was just another space rock. His enhanced reflexes allowed him to track all 300 enemy ships at once, something that should have been impossible for any single mind. "All stations, this is Captain Bell," he spoke into his communicator. "The war has begun. Activate all defensive systems." Across the solar system, hundreds of hidden installations came to life. What the Zephyrians had mistaken for mining equipment revealed itself as the most advanced defensive network ever built. Solar collectors that seemed designed to gather energy suddenly focused that power into devastating weapon beams. The first wave of Zephyrian ships died before they understood what was happening. Their shields, designed to stop normal weapons, proved useless against technology that bent the laws of physics. Ships that had ruled the galaxy for millennia cracked apart like eggshells. Impossible. Admiral Vexthara screamed as his sensors showed ship after ship going dark. How can simple mining stations have such firepower? On Earth, Commander Alex Stone coordinated the defense from deep inside the underground cities. The command center around him hummed with activity as enhanced humans processed information at speeds that overwhelmed the enemy's ability to respond. "Second wave coming in from the Jupiter sector," reported one of his officers. 200 ships, heavy cruisers. "Jake, redirect power from sectors 7 through 12, Stone ordered. "Lisa, what are you seeing from their tactical patterns?" Dr. Lisa Parker studied the enemy formations on her screens. Her enhanced mind could see patterns that would take normal strategists hours to understand. They are using standard Galactic Council attack formations. Very predictable. They have not fought a real war in so long that they have forgotten how. Jake Morrison's hands danced across his control panels, rerouting power throughout the solar system's defensive grid. The asteroids and space stations responded instantly to his commands, moving into new positions like pieces on a giant chessboard. The second wave of Zephyrian ships met the same fate as the first. The humans' defenses adapted to each attack, learning and improving with every shot fired. What should have been a quick victory for the aliens became a massacre. Admiral Vexthara stared at his tactical display in horror. Half his fleet was gone, and they had not damaged a single human installation. "Retreat to minimum safe distance," he ordered. "We need to rethink our approach." But the humans were not content to simply defend. As the Zephyrian fleet pulled back, Earth's dawn and dozens of other human ships emerged from hidden bases throughout the solar system. Their crystalline hulls gleamed in the sunlight as they moved to surround the alien fleet. Captain Bell's voice came over the communications channel, speaking in perfect Zephyrian. "Admiral Vexthara, you have attacked our home without provocation. Surrender now, and your crews will be treated well." "Never," Vexthara snarled. "The Zephyrian Empire does not surrender to inferior species." "Then you have chosen poorly," Bell replied sadly. The human ships moved with grace. It seemed impossible for vessels of their size. They flowed around the alien fleet like water, their enhanced pilots reacting to threats before the enemy weapons could even lock onto them. The battle became a dance, with the humans leading and the aliens stumbling to keep up. Dr. Parker, monitoring the battle from Earth, made a disturbing discovery. "Commander, I am reading massive energy signatures from beyond the outer system. The Zephyrians have brought their planet killer." Stone's face grew grim. The planet killer was a weapon of last resort, capable of destroying entire worlds. It had been used only 3 times in galactic history, each time ending conflicts that had lasted for centuries. "How long until it is in range?" he asked. 4 hours, Parker replied. "Then we end this now." Stone activated protocols that had been prepared during the Great Sleep but never tested. Deep beneath every major city on Earth, massive energy collectors began to hum with power. They had been disguised as geothermal plants, but their true purpose was far more ambitious. The planet killer, a ship the size of a small moon, moved slowly toward Earth. Its commander, General Krexener himself, watched the battle with satisfaction. Soon, the troublesome humans would be nothing but space dust. "Charge the main weapon," Krexener ordered. "Target the 3rd planet. We will solve the human problem permanently." The weapon began to charge, drawing power from multiple fusion reactors. Energy readings climbed higher and higher as the devastating beam prepared to fire. In 30 minutes, Earth would be a dead rock floating in space. But the humans had one final surprise. Jake Morrison monitored the energy flow as power from across the entire planet fed into the hidden collectors. "All systems ready, Commander. We are go for planetary defense grid activation." "Do it," Stone ordered. Every human on Earth felt a subtle vibration as the planet itself became a weapon. The energy collectors, linked through the deep city's network, created a defensive field that surrounded the entire world. When the planet killer fired, its devastating beam struck the field and simply stopped. But the humans did not stop there. The planetary grid absorbed the weapon's energy and redirected it back at the Zephyrian fleet. The very power meant to destroy Earth became a weapon that tore through the alien ships like paper. General Krexener watched in disbelief as his ultimate weapon not only failed, but was turned against him. "How?" he whispered as his flagship's hull began to crack under the assault. "Because we learned," Commander Stone's voice came over the communication system. "We learned from every mistake, every defeat, every moment of weakness in our history. We spent 750,000 years preparing for this day. Did you really think your old weapons could defeat us?" The planet killer exploded in a ball of fire that could be seen from several star systems away. The remaining Zephyrian ships scattered in all directions, their crews too shocked and terrified to continue fighting. Admiral Vexthara found himself alone on the bridge of his damaged flagship, most of his crew dead or unconscious. His communicator crackled with an incoming message. "Admiral," Captain Bell's voice was gentle but firm. "The war is over. Your empire's fleets are destroyed. Will you accept our terms for peace?" Vexthara looked around at the wreckage of his once mighty fleet. In a single day, humanity had destroyed the most powerful military force in the galaxy. They had turned the Zephyrians' own ultimate weapon against them. "What are your terms?" he asked quietly. "Simple," Commander Stone replied. "No more wars of conquest. No more slavery of weaker species. The galaxy will be ruled by cooperation, not fear." "And if we refuse?" There was a long pause before Stone answered. "Then you will discover what happens when we stop being patient." Vexthara understood. The humans had shown mercy today, but that mercy had limits. They had the power to destroy any species that threatened them, but they chose to offer peace instead. "I accept," he said finally. Across the galaxy, news of the Zephyrian Empire's defeat spread like wildfire. The most powerful military force in known space had been crushed in a single day by a species that was supposed to be extinct. Some worlds celebrated, finally free from Zephyrian oppression. Others trembled in fear, wondering what the humans would do next. The age of human dominance had begun, but it would not be an age of conquest. It would be something the galaxy had never seen before, an age of true peace, enforced by beings powerful enough to destroy any who threatened it, but wise enough to choose a better path. 6 months after the Awakening War ended, representatives from every known species in the galaxy gathered on Earth. They came not as conquerors or judges, but as guests seeking to understand the new order that humanity was building. The meeting took place in the restored city of Geneva, where glass towers rose from green hills and clean rivers flowed through parks filled with trees. The aliens who visited were amazed by what they saw. This was not the dead world from their records, but a paradise that seemed too perfect to be real. Commander Alex Stone stood before the assembled delegates in a great hall that had been built specifically for this moment. Around him sat beings from 47 different worlds, each trying to understand what their future would look like under human guidance. "We did not return to the galaxy to rule you," Stone began, his voice carrying to every corner of the hall. "We returned to help you grow beyond the limitations that have held you back for so long." In the front row, Admiral Vexthara listened with careful attention. His defeat had cost him his rank in his fleet, but the humans had allowed him to keep his life. More importantly, they had given him something he had never expected: hope for a better future. Dr. Lisa Parker stepped forward to address the scientific community representatives. "For too long, your species have fought over resources that should be abundant. We will share our technology freely, but only with those who use it to build rather than destroy." Behind her, a massive screen showed images of human settlements throughout the solar system. The aliens saw cities built inside asteroids, farms growing in the vacuum of space, and energy collectors that could power entire star systems without harming a single planet. Jake Morrison spoke to the engineers and technicians. "Your machines are powerful but wasteful. Our methods can give you the same results using 1/10 the energy and materials. But remember, technology without wisdom leads only to destruction." The delegate from the Etherian Collective, Counselor Ethara, raised her delicate hand. "What do you ask in return for this knowledge?" Peace, Commander Stone replied simply. No more wars of conquest. No more slavery. No more treating weaker species as resources to be consumed. Help us build a galaxy where every species can reach its full potential. Captain Ryan Bell had been placed in charge of the new Galactic Defense Fleet, a joint force that would protect developing civilizations from the kind of stagnation that had affected the Zephyrians. Ships from dozens of species now worked together. Under human coordination, their crews learning to operate as a single unified force. The old council ruled through fear, Bell explained to the military representatives. The new system will protect through strength, but that strength will be used only to defend, never to attack. Not everyone was happy with the changes. In the back of the hall, General Krexner sat in chains, his once proud armor now marked with the symbols of his defeat. He had been given a choice: accept the new order or face exile to the galaxy's outer rim. His bitter voice cut through the peaceful discussion. You speak of peace, but you conquered us through superior force. How are you different from any other empire? Stone turned to face the fallen general. Because we chose to spare you when we could have destroyed you completely. Because we offer partnership instead of slavery. Because we judge species by their potential, not their past mistakes. Pretty words, Krexner snarled. But what happens when a species refuses your guidance? What happens when someone challenges? Your new order? Before Stone could answer, alarms began ringing throughout the city. Emergency lights flashed as sensors detected something approaching from deep space. But this was not another Galactic Council fleet. This was something far worse. Dr. Parker's face went pale as she read the scanner data. Commander, we have incoming vessels from beyond the galactic rim. The energy signatures match records from our most ancient archives. Stone's enhanced mind instantly accessed files that had been sealed for hundreds of thousands of years. The memories came flooding back. The real reason humanity had gone underground, the true enemy they had been preparing to face. The Devourers. He whispered. The assembled delegates looked confused, but the humans in the room understood immediately. During the Great Sleep, their ancestors had warned them about this moment. The extragalactic invaders who had driven humanity underground were returning, and they expected to find the same weak galaxy they had left behind. Captain Bell was already coordinating with the defense fleet. All ships, this is Priority Alpha. Unknown hostiles approaching from galactic north. All species are to implement emergency protocols immediately. Through the Great Hall's windows, everyone could see streaks of light appearing in Earth's sky. Ships were launching from hidden bases all across the planet. The new Galactic Defense Fleet was mobilizing for its first real test. Admiral Vexthara stood up from his seat. Commander Stone, my fleet may be gone, but I still have knowledge of Zephyrian military tactics. Let me help. And my people have ships ready to fight, added Counselor Yathara. The Etherians may prefer peace, but we will not stand idle while the galaxy is threatened. One by one, delegates from every species offered their support. The beings who had been enemies just months before now stood united against a common threat. The humans had not just conquered the galaxy. They had given it something worth defending. Stone looked around the hall at all the species who were ready to fight together. This is what we prepared for during our long sleep. Not just to return to the galaxy, but to unite it against threats that no single species could face alone. Jake Morrison was already working to integrate alien technologies with human systems. Their ships are powerful, but they use old designs. If we combine our technologies, we can create something stronger than the sum of its parts. The Devourer fleet emerged from hyperspace like a dark tide. Their ships were massive, built for one purpose: consuming entire civilizations and moving on to the next target. They had left the galaxy empty and weak. They returned expecting an easy harvest. Instead, they found something that had never existed before, a unified galaxy with technology that exceeded their own, led by a species that had spent 750,000 years. Preparing for exactly this moment, Dr. Parker coordinated with scientists from dozens of worlds as they analyzed the enemy fleet. Their technology is advanced but inflexible. They have not evolved or improved in the time they were away. We have every advantage except numbers. Numbers do not matter when you have unity, Stone replied. He opened a communication channel that reached every ship in the defense fleet. Humans, Zephyrians, Etherians, and dozens of other species listened as he spoke. Today, we face an enemy that sees us only as food to be consumed. They divided us. Once, drove us into hiding, made us weak through fear and hatred of each other. But that galaxy is gone. We are no longer separate species fighting for scraps. We are one galaxy, one people, one force that cannot be broken. The battle that followed would be remembered for millennia. Ships from every corner of the galaxy fought side by side, their crews working together with precision that amazed even the humans. The Devourer's ancient tactics proved useless against opponents who shared knowledge instantly and adapted to threats in real time. When the last Devourer ship fell, the galaxy celebrated as one. Species that had been enemies for millions of years embraced each other as allies. The threat that had once driven them apart had instead brought them together stronger than ever before. Commander Stone stood on the observation deck of Genesis Prime, watching as ships from every species in the galaxy flew in perfect formation. Humanity had returned to find a galaxy divided by fear and hatred. They would leave it united by hope and shared purpose. The age of human dominance was over, before it truly began. In its place rose something better, the age of galactic unity, where every species could reach for the stars together.